They post the video online, and the world stops. 4 minutes of footage, an elevator door, a young woman, a mystery that exploded into every corner of the internet. Who was she? People asked. What happened? This is Elisa Lam, and for decades her name has been whispered in forums, podcasts, and late-night chats, a case that sits equal parts tragedy, mystery, and internet obsession. Elisa Lam, 21, from Vancouver, a bright student at UBC. She loved writing and travel. She kept a blog, open, honest, sometimes funny, and she'd written about struggling with mental health, bipolar disorder, medication changes, the anxiety of being young and trying to find her way. Friends described her as curious and affectionate, though she'd also been frank about dark days. In January 2013, she booked a solo trip to California, the kind of trip young people take to reset, to see the world. She checked into the Cecil Hotel, a building that once glittered but had long since become something darker. Over decades, the Cecil earned a fearful reputation: suicides, murders, and connections to notorious criminals. It's a place people now say has a tainted history. And that context matters when you tell Elisa's story. Elisa arrived around late January. Staff and guests later said she behaved oddly sometimes. She would talk to herself, act nervously in the hallway. Staff moved her to a private room after other guests complained about her behavior. This was her last confirmed ordinary day. On January 31st, 2013, a surveillance camera captured Elisa inside one of the Cecil elevators. The clip, only a few minutes, became the focal point of the entire story. She steps into the elevator, presses multiple buttons, steps out, peers down the hallway, ducks back in, waves her hands as if hiding, turns her palms outward at times, and leans as if listening. She appears to try to hide from someone or something, or she's trying to find someone. The footage ends. People watched it. Frame by frame, some said she was terrified. Others said she was playing. Body language experts argued back and forth. But there was one detail that sent sleuths into overdrive. The video released by police contains odd timecode jumps and missing frames. Members of the online community noticed that a chunk of time appeared to have been cut from the public version, and the timestamps didn't quite line up. As days passed and family calls went unanswered, the police were alerted. They searched the hotel, rooms, stairwells, rooftop, but found nothing. Guests complained the water tasted odd and pressure was low. Finally, on February 19th, nearly 3 weeks after she was last seen, hotel maintenance opened the rooftop cisterns and found Elisa's body floating inside a water tank. Why was she in the tank? How could anyone have gotten to a locked rooftop cistern and not been seen? Maintenance workers described the tank lids as heavy and difficult to open, and the tanks themselves were not easily accessible to guests. The Los Angeles County coroner ruled the death an accidental drowning. The coroner's report lists bipolar disorder as a significant contributing condition. Toxicology tests were conducted on internal organs and bile. There was a lot of confusion in public discourse about drugs. Some online claimed she was on heavy medication or illicit substances. The official reports don't support wild conspiracy claims. Importantly, toxicology samples were taken from internal organs and bile, not just peripheral blood, meaning the coroner could still detect substances despite prolonged immersion. Here's where things get technical and unnerving. To reach a rooftop tank, you must access secured areas, stairwells, locked doors, ladder access. Many theories center on whether Elisa climbed up alone during a psychotic episode or whether someone else guided her. People who examined the hotel's layout suggested that a tall person could lift a heavy tank lid if they had knowledge of the rooftop. But would a guest attempt this alone, at night, wearing shoes and a heavy jacket? Did she go up there alone, or was she taken? Did she climb in voluntarily? Did someone else enter, help, or force her? The coroner's report found no evidence of trauma consistent with a struggle, but absence of trauma is not absence of foul play. Media turned Elisa's story into a late-night obsession. Podcasts, docu-series, and countless YouTube videos tried to explain the 4-minute clip. Some used it sensitively. Others turned it into spectacle. The hotel's own history became shorthand for dread, and her family endured the trauma of watching the world dissect their daughter. We still don't know exactly how she entered the tank, who, if anyone, saw her go up there, and whether anyone interfered with evidence, the edited footage, the tank access issues, the hotel's murky past. They all combine into a mystery that resists closure. Elisa Lam was 21, not a ghost, not a myth, a person who wanted to see the world. The video made us hungry for answers. The answers are messy, partial, and human. Sometimes the internet gives us puzzles. Sometimes it gives us only questions.